53 years ago on this Easter Sunday, Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King was assassinated at the Lorraine Hotel in Memphis, Tennessee. He was called to Memphis to draw attention to the inhumane conditions facing the sanitation workers. He was a part of a campaign whose simple message, "I am a man," was to remind all of us that we are created in God's beloved image and deserve to be treated with dignity, respect, and justice, and deserve to be offered the resources to care for ourselves and our family. 53 years later, we continue to have work to do to ensure that all children and all families and all individuals have those resources to care for themselves and one another. So that is why today we've asked 3 of our youth to bring forth prophetic words from Dr. King. We thank Tadashi Dodge, Patrick Darling Lagama, and Mai Abangwa. Mai was a wonderful participant in the trip to the Cheyenne River Reservation in 2019, and we are so grateful that she has rejoined First Church through the power of Zoom. These 3 readings come from a speech that Dr. King gave to UC Berkeley students in 1957 about Christian ethics, and then 2 famous sermons in the last 2 months of his life. The first in February at his father's church at Ebenezer Baptist Church in Atlanta, Georgia, and the final, the mountaintop sermon, given the day before his death in Memphis, Tennessee on April 3rd, 1968. Dr. King wrote during a certain time, and the language he uses reflects that time. Please open your hearts and your minds as we hear the prophetic words of Dr. King from Tadashi, from Mai, and from Patrick. Amen.
I call upon you to be maladjusted as Amos, who in the midst of the injustices of his day, cried out in words that echo across the generation. Let judgment run down like waters and righteousness like a mighty stream. As maladjusted as Jesus of Nazareth, who dreamed a dream of the manhood of God and of the brotherhood of man. God grant that we will be so maladjusted that we will be able to go out and change our world and our civilization. And then we will be able to move from the bleak and desolate midnight of man's inhumanity to man to the bright and glittering daybreak of freedom and justice.
And so Jesus gave us a new norm of greatness. If you want to be important, wonderful. If you want to be recognized, wonderful. If you want to be great, wonderful. But recognize that he who is greatness among you shall be your servant. That's your new definition of greatness. And this morning, the thing that I like about it, by giving it that definition of greatness, it means that everybody can be great because everybody can serve. You don't have to have a college degree to serve. You don't have to make your subject and your verb agree to serve. You only need a heart full of greatness, a soul created by love, and you can be that servant.
Well, I don't know what will happen now. We've got some difficult days ahead, but it really doesn't matter with me now, because I've been to the mountaintop. And I don't mind. Like anybody, I would like to live a long life. Longevity has its place. But I'm not concerned about that now. I just want to do God's will. And he's allowed me to go up to the mountain. And I've looked over, and I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we, as a people, will get to the promised land. And so I'm happy tonight. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not fearing any man. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord.